Good day. Doom 1993 has not been able to maintain relevancy all the way to the space future of 2024 because it was that good. Oh no, ladies and gentlemen, while it was certainly a fine game, it's thanks to the tireless efforts of the modders that game has been able to maintain relevancy. And the modding community itself has been able to maintain relevancy because it has constantly evolved over the decades. A Doom mod from 2004 will be a very different beast from a Doom mod in 2024. And today, we're going to be taking a look at a modern Doom Wad called Final Carnage.
Final Carnage is a Doom level pack created by Onyx792, and according to his description, he created the mod as a love letter to many classic first-person shooters and Doom itself. The modder is so awesome that he even recommends playing his mod with Project Brutality. Take that, purists! And you know, I was there 30 years ago when Doom first came out, and even I say that Project Brutality is the best way to play the bloody game these days. What we got here is a fully modern Doom level pack. And that is no bad thing. Doom modders have not been idle, nor have they been ignoring game development over the past 30 years. Doom levels have been evolving this entire time, and gone are the days of the abstract and chunky levels of the 90s and the first few years of the 2000s, and now modern Doom levels will have extremely complex architecture, rooms that make logical sense, and all sorts of textures and scripting that would fit right in with early 2000s games. For an FPS nerd like myself, it becomes a bit of a game to spot all the games that certain textures come from. These levels right here, ladies and gentlemen, are some of the best Doom levels I have yet played. Getting levels right is not an easy prospect, as there are a number of different and mutually exclusive Doom level philosophies. What we got here is my personal favorite philosophy, run and gun. And the level is laid out in such a way that you can be funneled from one area to the next without getting lost or turned around. Although, one minor pitfall are the keys. The modder put them in places that, while obvious in theory, can lead you to running past them in practice. The levels never outstay their welcome. They're not super short, but they don't go on over long either. Really long Doom levels can get really tedious really fast. The levels have been properly balanced as well, and there is always enough ammo and health, and the enemy count is reasonable, and you never get blindsided by those goddamn enemy closets or bullshit teleports. When you pick up a key, some enemies may spawn, but they will never spawn on top of your bloody head. Enemy types used are also fun and reasonable. No bloody Archvile or Mancubus spam is to be found. We got some basic scripting and a couple of Doom 2016 style arenas. He doesn't spam those, and when you reach one, it's a nice climax to a level. Oh dear. What we got here is a 2D gore nest, and it works remarkably well. All told, this pack is in my top 13 Doom Wads of all time. It evolves the concept of Doom while keeping all that fun run and gun goodness. It is, as the modder suggests, best played with Project Brutality. I've already reviewed this gameplay enhancement mod a long time ago, but for lazy bastards, I will give you the long and short of it. Project Brutality fully perfects the Brutal Doom gameplay enhancement and brings Doom fully into the 21st century while retaining what made it great. Doom at its best is a twitch run and gun shooter. What Brutal Doom did was make your shots go where you were aiming. This was a huge advancement and made the player feel much more in control of their gaming experience. Brutal Doom also upped the animations for the enemies so they were more dangerous and dynamic. Project Brutality does all of that, but better. We got all new and enhanced weapons, the enemies are even more dangerous and have even more animation frames, we got a Doom 2016 style double jump with mantling, and Final Carnage was made with that in mind. You can, in Project Brutality, select different enemy styles, and if you're a boring bro, you can go vanilla, or if you're a cool dude, you can get some special new enemies that are cool evolutions of what came before. The most updated version of Project Brutality has high-level enemies drop power-ups when you blast them. You can get one that slows time, you got a few damage upgrades, and boss-level enemies will sometimes drop transformation runes that can either turn you into a Hell Knight or a Revenant. Those bloody AAA slacktivists wish they could do cool stuff like this. The levels look professional, and hell, you can cell level these complex. This level pack even has its own music. I would play some, but don't want to get copy struck. So let's just say it's some kick-ass heavy metal. And during the Doom 2016 arenas, we awesomely get BFG Edition. One issue that many Doom Wads face is performance. Pretty much all the high-quality Doom Wads need to be run with the GZ Doom source port, as the original Doom engine did not have a hope in hell of running any of this. Even then, the GT Doom engine is often pushed way past its limits, and thus you can have really low frame rates. You could have the best computer ever, but if the engine is lagging, your game will be lagging too. And some of the really impressive Doom mods can have slideshow frame rates in the single bloody digits. Thankfully, Onyx here made all the proper prayers to the machine god and has this mod running at sweet 60 FPS pretty much throughout. Even when the game dips, it only dips into the 40s. This is very impressive, as this is a very complex mod, and I am really surprised it runs as well as it does. Another impressive thing is the story. Doom mods and stories have had a troubled relationship in the past, and many are pretty bad. But this story here has some good imagination put into it. You start the game with a briefing. Hey Slayer, you gotta kill some demons! A small, tiny bit of story, but it works to set up that you are indeed the Doomslayer this time around, and people know you are the Doomslayer, and that you are working with humanity to fight the Scourge of Hell. As you go throughout the game, you will encounter a little bit of text, and it's good stuff. Better than anything Hollywood could come up with. You are not the only non-demon to be found in the game. Instead, there are survivors, and you can help them out. You will get some radio message from your captain, and he is pretty reasonable and intelligent, and speculates on the nature of the threat you are facing. And the modder is clearly a Doom fan, because the captain speculates on whether your enemies are aliens or demons. The final boss fight has you taking on a bunch of cyber demons, and it's a pretty good fight, and it's not cheap. The arena is big enough, and you won't get blasted in the first 5 seconds, and it's a satisfying ending to a great level pack. After blowing the cyber demons, you meet up with Dr. Samuel Hayden, and his 2D sprite looks amazing, and his office has a bunch of neat Easter eggs. He tells you that you can stop the invasion from the moon of Phobos, and he says that you are from another universe. Doom Multiverse of Madness! Doomslayer later ponders if the Dr. Sammy of this universe is any more trustworthy than the one of his home universe. Sadly, the mod just ends at this point, and not only that, but the last text screen has a lot of typos in it. But with a mod of this quality, I bet Onyx was super bloody excited to get it out the door, so I can forgive some of his bad spelling and grammar. All told, this is a fun little story for an amazing mod.
If you've been a hankering for some top-tier Doom Carnage, give this mod a download and get to rippin' and tearin'. And so, I am General Lotz, wishing you good Doom Absolution and good Doom 64 Brutal, or whatever makes you happy.
If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing, and please consider leaving a like or a comment, as the algorithm desires your soul. And I want to thank all those fans who have supported this channel, both past and present.